Alright guys, so Fuller with another video. Shout out to the whole LDBC. So in this video, man, I want to kind of talk about Abel Sanchez on this latest comments about Gennady Golovkin and what his plans are. I mean, as I said before in previous videos, man, Triple G don't want no real work, man. Like, that's the thing. Like, I mean, you his fans, and Abel Sanchez as his trainer can try to convince people all you want that he wants real work, but he don't really want no real work, bro. I mean, the patterns show that this guy doesn't want no real work. I mean, everybody knows this. I mean, at the end of the day, when you really look at it, in the middleweight division, Triple G is he's most evenly matched with Canelo. Canelo is the type of fighter that is basically best for him to fight, man, because Triple G, I mean, if you can box, then you're a high level world class boxer, you're gonna give Triple G problems, man. And I mean, like, Triple G has shown this in the past that he doesn't want no parts of elite boxers, man. I mean, I can go down the list. I mean, I know for a fact, like, although he said he wanted to entertain a fight with Billy Joe Saunders, he was in no hurry to, like, really pursue that fight, man. Like, it was just, like, really a smoke screen for him. And so this is why I'm, like, really, like, not really convinced that, like, you know, this guy really wants any real work, man. Like, I'm just being real with you, man. He really doesn't want any real work against these guys. And I mean, like, here's the thing about Abel Sanchez. Like, you can try to sell this all you want to about him being a Hall of Fame fighter and things like that, but I mean, like, really, that's what he said, that if Triple G were to retire right now, he would be a Hall of Fame fighter. Based off of what? That's what I'm wondering. Based off of title defenses against guys who literally were sitting on the couch one day and just decided, okay, it's time to fight. Guys who are inactive for like 2 years, moving up from 154 to 160. Guys who decided that they were going to move from welterweight to 160. It's like, what are you basing this on, man? Like, what are you basing his Hall of Fame merits on? Title defenses? Look at the caliber of fighters he was fighting in those title defenses. When you really look at Triple G's resume, when you really look at it, his most significant win is Daniel Jacobs. Out of all the fighters, you can say Daniel Jacobs is his most significant win. I guess you can say his second most significant win is David Lemieux. And I guess you can say his third most significant win is Kell Brook. But again, Kell Brook is not a natural middleweight. He was a blown up middleweight, basically. So here's my thing. Many of times, man, like, this is like many of times, but I already know, like, the WBC, you can't really count on them to really do their do justice when it comes to certain fighters that aren't named Canelo. WBC has been ordered Jamal Charlo versus Triple G. Jamal Charlo still wants to fight Triple G too. You know, and people, what a lot of these decaps are going to do is they're going to say, well, Jamal Charlo looked horrible in his last fight. I'm going to tell you like this, man. Korobov will give Triple G fits. I mean, as a matter of fact, Korobov is still ranked in 168. So, like, I mean, that argument is null and void at this point. I mean, if you think Korobov will give Jamal Charlo fits, good for you. I mean, if you think if you think that Jamal Charlo looked bad in his fight against Karlball, good for you. But the way I look at it is Jamal Charlo showed adaptation in his fight with Karlball because he almost had him knocked out in the later round. So the fact that he was able to make the adjustment and hit him with some big shots and actually hurt him shows the maturity, that he actually matured in that fight right then and there. And so what Abel Sanchez said about this is he said that he basically said, man, that, you know, Triple G does not have to fight anybody that the WBC or any of these governing bodies say he has to fight. Abel Sanchez said that, you know, Triple G fights who he wants. That at the end of the day, no governing body will have a say-so on who he fights. Only Triple G will have a say-so on who he fights. And I mean, that's fine, you know, but who does Triple G want to fight? Because let's go back in history a little bit. Who did Triple G want to fight, but he got beat, unfortunately. But he was thought to be going to be the winner of the fight, and that guy was Ryota Murata. Triple G wanted to fight Murata, but guess what? Rob Brandt had different plans, man, and he decided that he beat him. You know, so he beat him. So that plan was derailed. And now Triple G was there looking for opponents, looking for the easiest touch-up he can get. I mean, let's take it a step further, man. Let's really take it a step further. Sergey Derevyanchenko was supposed to fight Triple G for his, I think it's the WBO belt. I'm not quite sure what strap it was, but I believe it was the WBO belt. Okay? What does Triple G do? He gets stripped because he doesn't want to fight him. At the time, he was chasing a fight with Canelo. I mean, if you're supposed to be this boogeyman, and if you're supposed to be this champion, you take all fades. That's just the bottom line. You take all fades that come. You don't just chase a big money fade. If you have to defend your belt, you defend your belt, bro. That's just the way it goes. If the WBC order a fight and you a real champion, you take that fight. That's how it really goes if you were really about it. But I know Triple G ain't about it. I mean, he can keep fooling people all he wants to. But he really isn't about it. You know, Triple G, honestly, man. I mean, the thing is, I will say this about Triple G, that the two things he has going for him: being able to knock out bums, right? And having a Grand Night chin. Those are the two things he has going for him. Other than that, man, he really doesn't have anything remotely threatening to another fighter. Guys there were many guys who called out Triple G, man. Many guys. Let's start with the Andre Ward thing. Okay, and here's the double standard, basically. You know, he didn't want to move up to fight Andre Ward. Andre Ward was like, why don't you move up and fight me? He didn't want to do that. Abel Sanchez defended him to the wheels fall off on the reason why he shouldn't do that. But he wanted to make Canelo, he was adamant about Canelo moving up and fighting him, just really calling out Canelo, just really chasing a Canelo fight, just really thinking that Canelo is an easy touch-up. And I'm sorry to say it, man, but Canelo beat the brakes off of him, man. Especially in the second fight. The second fight, he backed him up. The first fight, Canelo was on his bicycle, but in the second fight, Canelo, he brought the style basically that he said he fights in. The style that Triple G said he fights in, Canelo fought in, and actually Triple G did the opposite, and that was in the second fight. Now let's take another instance, man. I'm gonna give you two more instances. The second instance, and this comes from me just liking a certain style of fighting. Landy Lara said, I'll give Triple G a lot of problems. He said that. He said, if Triple G were to fight me, I would give him a lot of problems. And Landy Lara called out Triple G. But Abel Sanchez said, that fight wouldn't be good for boxing. He said that's a fight that fans wouldn't want to see, and it would be bad for boxing. So fans wanted to see Willie Monroe fight Triple G? That's my question. Fans wanted to see Vanez Monterosian fight Triple G? I mean, really, man. Like, come on, get the hell out of here with that, man. Who are you fooling? I mean, like that Jay-Z song. There's a Jay-Z song called Hovey Baby. The words fit so well into things that go on in boxing, bro. The words fit so well. He said, I think if I remember in this song, he said, I'm trying to progress in this rap shit. Nigga, your whole career's an accident. Who is gassing you? And then you hear a lady in the background say, F out of here. And that's me. I'm trying to progress in this boxing shit. I'm not trying to hear people gas other fighters up who ain't doing shit. I'm being an athlete myself, being a boxer myself, and being a guy who wants to always progress, being a guy who always wants to get better, always wants to sharpen his tools and add new tools, and being a fan of the sport, being a big time fan of the sport. I'm trying to progress in this boxing shit, So that's why some of these fighters, I'm like, who is gassing you dudes? Like, you guys are so high on your horn for no apparent reason. That's why guys like Deontay Wilder, I have to give respect for, because he's fighting everybody who comes his way. Okay? There's no excuses with that guy. Name another fighter who's doing that right now. Okay? I have to respect Tyson Fury for stepping up and taking that fight because Anthony Joshua was too scared not to. I gotta respect that. That's progressing the sport. Okay? But what Triple G's doing is not progressing. Okay, and now let's go to another instance with Triple G that we know he didn't want no parts of anybody. So, when Canelo popped dirty, before the rematch, when Canelo popped dirty, basically for clenbuterol, whatever the case may be, Demetrius Andrade, who was very inactive at the time, he was very inactive, okay? Dude didn't have a fight for some time now, alright? Dude didn't even have a fight. He volunteered to fight Triple G. Why wouldn't Triple G take advantage of an inactive fighter? I mean, wouldn't that be an easy touch-up? I mean, he fought Vanez as a replacement opponent who's not even at his natural weight class. Why not fight someone who's been at your weight class and had a fight at the middleweight class? Why not do that? He's been inactive. I mean, wouldn't that be an easy touch-up for him? But I guess, certain fighters who have certain athletic abilities will be a nuisance to Triple G. Just calling it how it is. And on a final note, basically, even Earl Spence said he would move up and whoop Triple G. And I mean, I believe it. You know, it's possible because Earl Spence will come forward and damage him. I wouldn't put it past Earl Spence. I would give him like maybe one fight at 160 first, and then he would get him. But basically, what Abel Sanchez's words translate to is that when he says Triple G fights who he wants to fight, that's basically him saying that Triple G is not going to fight anybody who might be a threat to him. That's why you have to read in between the lines. That's my whole point of this video. You know, that's why I made this video. And, you know, that's really all I got for now. You know, what I expect to happen is Triple G will fight Canelo again in September after this Daniel Jacobs fight. I mean, granted, Canelo be successful in this Daniel Jacobs fight. I mean, honestly, there's everything that favors Canelo in this fight. So if he's successful, then yeah, look forward to that fight with a trilogy in September. And then in that trilogy, Triple G's gonna probably get slept or stopped, you know, since he's getting older. Like, I think he's 37 now. But that's all I got for now, guys. Leave your thoughts, leave your comments. Enjoy.